My senses had been in overdrive and driving me nuts for a year, and my shutdowns turned into traumatic meltdowns. I never cried or showed a lot of emotions growing up, but during the meltdowns I'd break down and cried so much I hyperventilated, stopped breathing for a few seconds, and gasped for air. On the day it got much worse, I was having a headache and trying to have a nap in the afternoon after a PS4 gaming session. It was maybe 3 p.m? The annoying kids next door, sorry, but they scream and yell nearly 24/7. My right leg starts shaking involuntarily. Then one by one, my whole body starts convulsing painfully for several minutes. After it stops, I go to find Mum in the kitchen to explain what happened, and my legs start hopping involuntarily. I grab the bench so I don't fall. Then my body starts again. Mum gets me into a chair, and she and my auntie, who lives in our backyard, spoon-feed me with Panadol mixed with ice cream, but it doesn't work. After hours, I stop and I start talking, and what I think of saying comes out in tongues. It lasts for a while, and I use my phone to communicate with my mum and sister. My body tremors keep going through the night, and oddly enough, I start laughing involuntarily in my mum's bed. Despite being in so much pain and my mind so quiet, I should have been freaking out, but it was like I wasn't connected to my own body. It got worse when I started acting like my 10, 7, and 5-year-old self. I didn't even recognize my own sister and mum, which was dramatic for both of them. They call an ambulance at 3 a.m. Mum gets me comfortable on our couch in the lounge room, but when they come, the lady paramedic treats me horribly when she learns I'm autistic. I was having leg tremors, banging the floor. She grabs my wrist so hard I cry out and yells stop in my ear so close I can feel her breath. She then looks at Mum and says, "It's just behavioural." Mum was furious and refused to let them take me. I was embarrassed and deeply traumatised. The next day, the tremors keep happening, so Mum decides to take me to the hospital. The doctors and nurses were not very nice. They looked at me as if I was making it up and treated me as if I was crazy. After a couple of hours of them not doing much, we decided to leave and went to our clinic doctor. Her suggestion was to go back to the hospital, so we went to a different hospital. This was when COVID was just happening. There was a huge lineup and it was hard to find a park. This sent me into a paralysed episode, and for being non-responsive, I was able to get onto a stretcher and was made a priority. But the noises of the door, my hearing was supercharged, made me have full body tremors. We were in the hospital for ages, about 4 to 5 hours, but it was no different than the other hospital. Nothing was happening. I was fortunate a doctor believed my symptoms were real and suggested looking into FND as the cause. When we got home, Mum researched FND and found it to be me to a T. It took 2 months to officially get diagnosed with FND, and the NDIS was very accommodating to my new predicament. They made sure I had enough funding to get more carers because Mum and my sister were not getting much sleep. I was becoming more nocturnal because my full body tremors were keeping me up most of the night, and one of them had to be with me to make sure I didn't hurt myself. Back then, I used to have episodes where I would punch myself hard, as well as hitting my head on the wall. I was in constant pain from all the physical and mental episodes. The most frustrating part is, before FND, I was able to do all the cleaning in the house with the help of my carer who taught me how to do it. Then, with FND, I was not even able to walk to the toilet by myself, and I also would have episodes while I ate, which made me throw my food either on the ground or on my face. I was mostly bedridden for the first few months, and only went out to doctor's appointments, which Mum had to help me walk. This made me feel like I was seeing something in a movie when someone is recovering from a weird illness or a loss of a limb, and I can't believe this is actually happening to me. COVID also made things really hard because it took longer to get appointments.